What's up? Straight from the chest. What's up, people? This is Justin Groth, and this is I am your host on this personal development podcast, Too Much Coffee. Guys, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday Wrath. You know what that means? It means we're getting busy, man. I'm giving you the word, and that's straight from my chest, like the title entails, right? Guys, my birthday is coming up. And as many of you are probably excited for your birthdays, and you guys probably do birthday weeks and birthday months, my birthdays are a little bit different. Let me tell you why. On my birthday, I decided years ago to do a squat challenge every birthday. And that squat challenge consists of 315 pounds on my back for the entirety I am old. For example, if I'm 35, because I'm coming up to be 35, I gotta do 35 reps. And no, these are not split up. This is a continuous set. 35 reps, unbroken. And it's something that I know I'm capable of because I've done it in the years preceding. But nonetheless, it's still a stress that I think about on the day of my birthday. And that's something that I've put into practice. It's not something that anyone told me about, that anybody said, you need to do this for your birthday. I mean, it's something that I put into practice on my own, right? And so I've been thinking about it for the last month and a half. And even though this is something that I know I'm capable of, it's still something that I get, if I'm being honest, weary about, because what if I don't do it? And what if, something happens and I fail? I mean, we all have those thoughts. I mean, that could be anything in life. That could be the business that you're starting. That could be this new career you're going into in life starting next week. I mean, you don't know where the answer lies. But here's the thing. God gives us these trials and tests and challenges in our life, and we know that they don't last forever. And we know that we come out of them. And when we do come out, well, we don't know that, but when we do come out of them, I'm assuming you have came out of them because you're still here, you're still living. And maybe those of you who are going through them, when we come out of them, we are better, we are more refined, we're more hardened, and we're definitely more perseverant than we were in the time prior, before the challenge hit. And so I know that this squat challenge is something that I'm capable of. And I remember last year when I did it, I had a good 2 more reps in me. And even though they were hard, they were grueling reps, they were gritty reps at the end, I still know that if a gun were to my head, I could have done 2 more reps. And so, guys, I know I have it in me, but it doesn't mean that fear, or that anxiety rather, goes away. It just dissipates, because it doesn't. It's always there. And it's good that it's there, because we need those things in our life to continue to keep us ready and keep us positioned with a posture of authority and a posture of angst and willingness to thrust forward, because we don't know what's going to hit us. So it's better to be ready than not ready, right? And maybe that's the reason why I put it in practice, unbeknownst to me. Maybe that's the reason why I put myself through this stress every year, because it's something that I want to showcase to myself that I got what it takes to grind through these reps. And I got what it takes to do this grueling set that probably nobody's willing to do. I'm going to do it. And you know what? People always ask me, they say, it must be hard to do that. It must be super hard towards the end of the set. And you would rightfully think so. You would rightfully think that the last part of the set is the hardest. But I'm going to tell you, the first part is the hardest. And the first part is everything in preparation. The preparation of before you step into the squat rack, under the bar, before, even going into the morning beforehand, the food that you eat, your mindset preparation, you're going into the gym, the muscles that you use, that you activate beforehand going into the big lift. getting all of those measures in place, and they need to be perfect, guys. It's everything from working the muscles that are stabilizing the hips, warming up the hamstrings, warming up priming all those muscles to getting them ready to fire, getting your central nervous system ready, getting your mind space ready, getting under the bar, getting the perfect positioning of the bar on your back, getting the perfect hand grip, stepping out of the rack with the bar on your back with authority. With authority, stepping out like you own it. You own the weight. And then stepping back into your foot placement with authority as well. Finding your foot placement, digging your feet and corkscrewing them into the ground. Engaging all of the musculature from the feet all the way up into the neck. And then slowly dropping that first rep. And my rule for this squat challenge is that I don't stop until I get 15 unbroken reps. And I'm not racking the weight after those 15 unbroken reps, but from there, it goes into triples, which are 3 reps at a time, doubles, and then singles until I complete the entire set. But the rule for me is I gotta get 15 unbroken. And that does 2 things. 1, it basically gets me almost halfway there. And 2, it tricks my body, my nervous system, my brain into knowing I own this weight. I own this set. And everything beforehand is predicated on you owning the set. The hand grip, the feet positioning, the placement of the bar on your back, the mindset. You own that weight. You own the set. You own this. It's already finished, but you just got to apply the action and get it done. But everything that's leading up until the actual execution of the squat, that's meaningless, means you have to own everything beforehand. That is the goal. You owning everything. If you don't own it and you step out of that rack unbalanced, wobbly, haphazardly, that's going to definitely resonate in your nervous system, and that's going to awaken a stress, and your body's going to think, oh, I'm not ready for this weight. I'm not ready for this weight. And that's going to definitely bleed into your set. And that could potentially ruin your set. That's the same thing we do in life. Everything we do is predicated on if we have the understanding that we own this space, that we own this pathway, that we own this career set that we have in place. Do you own your craft? Do you own it? Or are you just following in the footsteps that you think you should be in from somebody else? Do you own it? Or are you just existing? Because I'm going to tell you, owning something and knowing that you own it, that's not conceited. That's not arrogance. That is full-fledged confidence in the talent that God's given you, and He wants you to feel that way. He wants you to know that you're great at what you're doing because He's placed the greatness in you. It's not by your own manifestation. It's definitely not. I mean, you help, you contribute, but the seed that's given to you wasn't given to you by you. And so owning what you're doing, owning your position, owning your craft, and I'm not saying you tell yourself you own it. You actively apply ownership. You actively apply ownership. You consistently walk in authority, not with conceit, but you walk in authority, knowing that you're here for a reason, knowing that what you're doing is on purpose, and knowing that you're helping people along the way to gather their own authority in their respected space or in their respected craft. That's what it's about, being a human. That's what it's about, living your legacy. That's when you know you're in the right space. When you can have a shitty day, when everything could be going wrong, and you still are honing in to that craft, to that thing you find the most value in, and you own it because you're separating everything else from who you are meant to be and what's wired in your DNA deep, 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 that's when you know you're in the right space. I don't know what's going to happen November 3rd, but I'm going to tell you this. I know that I'm going to get set up perfectly, and I know, well, I don't know, but I know that one thing's for sure. I've done this before. I'm going to set up my best. I'm going to do these unbroken reps, and I'm going to grind this thing out to the end. I have to faint, or I have to break physically for me to put that weight rack back on the rack. Because I've been waiting a year to do this. A year. I'm not going to let that go because I feel a little bit of pain. I'm not going to let that go because I feel like I'm getting a little shaky underneath. I'm going to do the exact opposite. I'm going to dig my heels in deeper than I've ever dug in, because there's no option for me to rack that bar unless I have 35 reps. No option. Or if my spine is failing me and I can tell I'm going to break my spine. But my spine is so resilient, just like yours. I have more grit in me than I think I have. Even when I'm at the end and I don't think I have more, I got more. So my spine's going to literally have to break on me for me to rack that weight. And it wouldn't even get racked at that point. It would just fall on my face. That's how deeply engulfed I am in my purpose, in my value that I see in the craft that I'm in. It's not weightlifting though. That's just a means to an end. But I'm leading through these different practices that I put in place, just like you are. You may not see that people notice. You might not think people are noticing where you're going, or people are noticing what you're saying, or people are noticing your actions, but they are. And they're taking notes, most likely. So make sure that you're leading with integrity, and you're leading with a clear-cut vision and with authority. Because no one's going to follow a leader that doesn't have authority in their lead. Everything you do beforehand, the preparatory work, that is the hardest part. That. When I'm getting into the reps of 25, 26, 27, I'm doing singles. That's not the hard part. Because I know it's almost done. The hard part is the setup. That's the most anxiety-filled part. Making sure that everything is precise and on point to propel me to my zenith, which is the end of the set. But if all of the foundation or substratum is shaky from the gate, that's going to lead into my result. And that could dissipate. My strength could dissipate towards the end of the set. And then I could not complete the entire set. Or I could get injured in the process. That's why everything, your end game is predicated on your pregame. Your end game is predicated on what you do and how methodical you are in your pregame. The end set reps, they're nothing. Just like when you fall in your purpose, you're just facilitating. Sure, it's challenging, but it's nothing like the preparatory process that you got to get through now. But you got to get through that preparatory process with authority, with conviction, with lead, with a conquered ability, with a warrior type mindset, with an undisputable mentality and action behind your perseverance. When you get to the end, it's just, sure, it's perseverance and it's grit all the way through. But everything beforehand has already been established, and you know you have what it takes to grit your way through. Because you came into your preparatory process with conviction, with authority, and with leadership. and with an understanding that giving up is not and never an option.